don't want. So such Pipatan 3.30, 3 to 14 and 18, Kapil Dev, Lord Kapil Dev, speaks the following words to his mother Devahuti. The misguided materialist does not know that this very body is impermanent and the attractions of home, land, wealth, which are in relationship to this body, are also temporary. Out of ignorance only he thinks that everything is permanent. The living entity in whatever species of life he appears finds a particular body of particular type of satisfaction in that species and is never averse to being situated in such a condition. So he's accepting everything. He likes to go in all the species. Even in any species, he's facing so much of difficulty. He is not bothered to solve those difficulties. He is accepting the difficulties and not grudging. Just he is not averse. He is not averse to all those things. The conditioned living entity is satisfied in his own particular species of life, while deluded by the covering influence of the illusory energy. He feels little inclined to cast off his body, even when in hell, for he takes delight in hellish enjoyment. Such satisfaction with one's standard of living is due to deep-rooted attraction for body, wife, home, children, animals, wealth, and friends. Even though suffering, but doesn't want to cast off this body. In such association, the conditioned soul thinks himself quite perfect. Although he is always burning with anxiety, such a fool always performs all kinds of mischievous activities with a hope which is never to be fulfilled, in order to maintain his so-called family and society. He gives heart and senses to a woman who falsely charms him with Maya. He enjoys solitary embraces and talking with her. He is enchanted by the sweet words of the small children. The attached householder remains in his family life, which is full of diplomacy, and politics, always spreading miseries and controlled by acts of sense gratification. He acts just to counteract the reactions of all his miseries. And if he can successfully counteract such miseries, he thinks that he is happy. He secures money by committing violences here and there. And although he employs it in the service of the family, he himself eats only a little portion of the food thus purchased. He goes to hell for those for whom he earned the money in an irregular way. When he suffers reverses in his occupation, he tries again and again to improve himself. But when he is baffled in all attempts, is ruined, he accepts money from others because of excessive greed. Thus, the unfortunate man, unsuccessful in maintaining his family members, is bereft of all beauty. He always thinks of his failure, grieving very deeply. Seeing him unable to support them, his wife and children or others do not treat him with the same respect as before, even as miserly farmers do not accord the same treatment to their old and worn out oxen. The foolish family man does not become averse to family life, although he is maintained by those whom he once maintained. Deformed by the influence of old age, he prepares himself to meet ultimate death. Thus, the man who engaged with uncontrolled senses in maintaining a family dies in great grief. Seeing his relatives die crying, he dies most pathetically, in great pain and without consciousness. So, this much attachment. So, when Narada met Valmiki, he told, "Why are you doing all these activities, sinful activities?" He said, "To maintain my family members." So, go and ask your family members, are they ready to take your sins? He went and asked his wife. She said, "Why should I take the sins? It is your duty to support us." So he asked many of his family members, his father, his mother, his wife, his children. Nobody is ready to take his sinful activity, the karma, sinful reactions. So then he realized that I'm just working to support a family, and for that I'm doing sinful activity. You may say, no, I'm not doing any sinful activity. I go, I work in the office. I'm doing a fair work. There is nothing wrong in it. No sense in this involved. Whatever I'm getting is also, it is true. It is not something wrong money. This is a legitimate money. It is not something wrong. So what it is, whatever it is very legitimate, and all these things one may think. But Srila Prabhupada says any activity which makes you serve, which makes you forget serve Krishna, that activity, it may be looking like a pious activity. Whatever pious or impious activity, everything comes under the category of sinful activity only. Any activity which makes you forget Krishna, you don't have time for Krishna. You're so busy. Morning to evening, you're so busy that you don't have time for Krishna. So such activities come in the category of sinful activities only. So a person, what he does, he's just employing his strength in the service of his family. You see how much hard work a person does. And what is the goal? Why is he doing all these things? The answer is no, I have to maintain my children. I have to put them in the colleges. You know what is the college fees? All these things. So my big talks come. But you are forgetting the service of Krishna. Any activity which makes us forget Krishna's service, understand that all services come in the category of sinful services only. Tomar se jiva, Prabhu tumi se rakshita, ki baliba amara tumi se sarvapita. This is the one thing which we all forget. That is, Krishna is a protector. If this is remembered, Avashya Rakshime Krishna, then that is enough. He is the Supreme Father. Every living entity is part and parcel of Krishna. So Lord Vishnu is the Supreme Consciousness and Supreme Controller, or the Super Soul. And the living entities are all controlled by him and possess minute consciousness. Therefore, they are constitutionally Vaishnavas or subordinate to him. Let's see this powerful statement. Constitutionally, everyone is a Vaishnava. He has forgotten. In everyone, every jiva, actually every jiva is constitutionally a Vaishnava. It is not that he's Hindu, he's a Muslim, he's a Parsi. No. He is a Vaishnava. Constitutional position, Mamaivancho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. So Krishna consciousness is a birthright of every jiva. So it is our duty to give Krishna consciousness. Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna upadesh. It's our duty to give Krishna consciousness to everyone. You may say, no, he will not take it up. Who are you to speak that? We are not to say that he will not take it. He is a Muslim. You just say Hare Krishna, they will say Hare Krishna to you. I'll tell you a nice example. Our building watchman is a friend of Bal Krishna. He has given Hanuman Chalisa to him to read and is asking for Japmala to chant. I said, very good, I'll give you. Day before yesterday, I came to know he's a Muslim. So anybody, anyone, and everyone, in fact, are part and parcel of Krishna. It is our duty to give Krishna consciousness without if and buts. Oh, he's a Parsi. Why will he do? Let him do whatever he's doing. No, he's not doing whatever has to be done. We are no one to decide. He is doing according to whatever dharma he has been told to do. Whatever dharma has been given, it is only a kaitava dharma. Any dharma which is only increasing our sense gratification, that is known as kaitava dharma. That be your best friend. That be anybody known to you. Our duty is to give Krishna consciousness. If he is not accepting Krishna consciousness, you do not have to accept him. Simple. Go away. Why you want such friendship then? It's a waste of time. Because the friendship is nothing but to maintain one's relationship. And that is why what we do, we waste our time also. There are so many who are doing like this in the name of the social circles. They are not interested in Krishna consciousness. They don't want to take up any process. Then we also waste time in such so-called friendship. How much time? Give some time. Okay, this much time I'll spend to see that he will take up to Krishna consciousness very nicely. You don't have to immediately quit anybody. You can try upon, but there should be some limit. It should not happen that you try and you're keeping one leg in sense gratification and one leg your foots go in just some enjoyment just to please your friend, please your family members. So this is just a waste of time. So none of us will become serious, especially now we all are going to get initiated. Many of you are going to get initiated. Follow this rule very nicely. Avoid asakta sangha. Don't try to mix with worldly minded people. You say, nahi, wo Jai Shri Krishna bolta hai. He is fooling himself also, he is fooling you also. When he sees you, he says Jai Shri Krishna. And afterwards, he is into sense gratification. He's not interested. If he really wants to progress in devotional service, okay, whatever sukriti he is getting, he'll get. But if we want to progress devotional service, okay, you can try upon them for some time. Afterwards, you don't have to be enemy of them. You can avoid them. Try to avoid such group of people who are not interested in Krishna conscious activities. Maybe sometimes they'll see you, they'll say Hare Krishna and all those things. But try to avoid. As much as possible, try to avoid such sangha. Because what is most important is to progress in devotion service. That is most important. Yes, engaging everyone in devotion service is also important. But if we are not able to do that, then better is we avoid. But Uttamadhikari Bhakta, they will mix with every type of person. But that is not to be considered, oh, I am mixing with every type of person and I can still chant 16 rounds. I am an Uttamadhikari Bhakta, considering that is also a wrong thing. Because very nicely in the Updesha Amrit, it has been given, Atyahara Prayasascha, Prajalpo Niyamagraha, Janasangascha Laulyam Cha, Shalidir Bhaktir Vinashyati has been given. Our devotion will be lost if we have Prajalpa. There's no sense to the talk. If you are mixing with your friends and you get an opportunity to speak about Krishna, then you can have as many number of friends as much as possible. It should be, no doubt, it should be friendly to everyone, but not to waste time in going with picnics with such type of people or spending time in their houses. But if you're given an opportunity to speak about Krishna, then spend time with them. So we should be very careful because initiation, Diksha ceremony is not an ordinary ceremony. It is a Pancha Sanskara. Diksha is also known as Pancha Sanskara. Tapa Pundra Tata Nama Mantra Yagascha Panchamaha Amihi Pancha Sanskara. I am taking this Amihi Pancha Sanskara. I am taking this Pancha Sanskara. What is that 5 sanskaras? Tapa. Tapa means I know. What I know? That this world is only a miserable place. Maybe for some time I may experience some happy things, but it is a miserable place. That is why you're going to a guru who has solution. You'll say, is he not there in the miserable place? He is not affected. That is the difference. Tapa Pundra. That is why he shows us the goal of life, Pundra. Pundra means the 12 marks of Tilak, which should beautify every Vaishnava, especially the devotees who are aspiring. They should apply 12 places Tilak and 12 names of Tilak should be by heart. Praveen Bale Prabhu, please tell me, unmute yourself, keep your videos on if possible, and tell all the 12 places Tilak. And Prashanti will tell Maharaj Pranam Mantra. Yes. Praveen. Prashanti, who has unmuted yours? Praveen Bale. Praveen Bale is brother of Raghupati Prabhu, Raghupati Pran Prabhu. And Prashanti is sister of Raghupati Pran Prabhu. So,
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
You can tell all 12 places.
Hare Krishna.
And tell. And Pranam Mantra of Guru Maharaj.
Mataji, Pranam Mantra. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी इति नामिने प्रभुपादस्य साहित्यं यत् प्रकाशय वितीर्य च प्रचारं कृतवान् साधु भगवान् भगवत्पादाय ते नमः.
Okay. 12 places tilak. I hope your brother is also putting every 12 places.
केशवाय नमः. Mataji, I put, but I reciting is like,
You have to, Maharaj will ask what will be.
Om Keshavaya Namaha, Om Narayana Namaha, Om Madhavaya Namaha, Om Govindaya Namaha, Om Vishnave Namaha, Om Madhusudanaya Namaha. Mataji, this sixth I know, but
वामनाय नमः. मधुसूदनायन के बाद त्रिविक्रमाय नमः. Okay, Aruna Mataji, take the responsibility of talking to Prashanti and getting all the 12 places tilak by heart. And also Praveen. Or we'll put it in the, somebody should put it in the initiation group also.
Mataji, that photo I will put. It is there na in Vaishnava ticket.
See, I don't know how much deep Maharaj is going to ask. One thing I know, he will not ask, but you should know. If you don't know, then actually I am cheating Maharaj. Maharaj will not ask. Yesterday I got another news. Anyone is recommended by Narayani, just take as it is. How can I cheat my Maharaj? Tell me. You should know. You should apply. There is no tilak on your matha. Every day after taking bath, 2 times a day. Okay, Pal Krishna will show. Bolo. Bolo, bolo. Keshavaya पूरा बाला पिता. आई एक्शन से बताओ ना. हाँ हाँ.
ओम नारायणाय नमः.
प्रशांति सी.
ओम गोविंदाय नमः. ओम विष्णवे नमः. ओम मधुसूदनाय नमः. ओम त्रिविक्रमाय नमः. ओम वामनाय नमः. ओम श्रीधराय नमः. ओम ऋषिकेशाय नमः. ओम पद्मनाभाय नमः. ओम दामोदराय नमः. ओम वासुदेवाय नमः.
For Mataji's Vasudevaya Namah is Sushma. You don't have to say that. नहीं बोल सकते हैं लेकिन लगाते नहीं, खाली बोल रहे हैं. Okay, so prepare yourself for regulatory principles. 4 regulatory principles. Prashanti.
Haribol Mataji, no meditating, no illicit sex, and no intoxication, and no gambling.
Okay. Hare Krishna. So here we have few verses are there, just 1 or 2 verses. It was complete. And Chaitanya Bhagavat Adilila. In each chapter will be completing. Yai mata bhakta gana sabara kushala chintena gayena Krishna chandrena mangala. In this way, all the devotees always desire the welfare of all living beings, and they pray to Krishna on their behalf. So this should be the attitude of the devotees. Even if they find somebody doing wrong, just pray to Krishna. It is Krishna who can give them the intelligence. If you say, yeah, I say, you should not say that. The doctor say, अच्छा है, सफर करने दो. मैं बोल रहा था पानी पूरी मत खाओ, but नहीं, खा रहा है, सफर करने दो. That is not an attitude of a devotee. If that attitude is there, then he is not a devotee. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Chanda Jana Vrindavana Das Kachupada Yuge Gana. Accepting Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Prabhu as my life and soul, I Vrindavan Das. Sing the glories of their lotus feet. Thus ends the English translation of the Gaudiya Bhashya of Shri Chaitanya Bhagavat, the disappearance of Jagannath Mishra. So what it concluded, that we have so much of money to spend on our children's marriage, isn't it? No, don't spend that money. If you have planned to spend so much of money for your functions of your daughters and sons, give that money for temple construction. Jare dekho tare kaho, this Updesh. Okay, this should be the Updesh. If you have planned something, so much of money you have kept, then take some share. So you should do that. Somebody, I'll not tell the name. His mother was asked, how much gold you want? His father told, tell mother to make lot of gold, because now some marriage is going to come, very rich people. Then this boy is very, very intelligent boy. He says, okay, mother, you make in such a way, some gold should go for Jagannath. So plan out the ways and means to serve Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna. Any doubts? Any doubts? Yes, Achadev Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, thank you very much. Fantastic class. What I wanted to stress is that the purports of 203 and 204 are very, very heavy. Heavy in the sense means, of course, they are all understandable, but they are very heavy means that every line, every sentence, one can speak hours and hours on it. My question is that, Mataji, you said that in this 204 purport, 2 lines, he feels little inclined to cast off his body even when he is in hell. उधर तक ठीक है. For he takes delight in hellish enjoyment. So how can the soul take delight in hellish enjoyment?
You told so fast, I did not understand one word. What did you say?
I said that यहाँ पर लिखा है, he feels little inclined, means the soul feels little inclined to cast off his body. Even when
feels inclined, na? It doesn't want, na?
Yeah, आगे, even when in hell, for he takes delight in hell.
So going into office, coming back to office is hellish only, na?
Achha, so that hell is referring. Okay.
Any hell. Even in the hell.
I thought that hell of that lower planetary system, Patal.
Even in that hell also, it doesn't want to improve.
Achha, that. Okay. And the second question, Mataji, last question is that you said Narad Muni meets Valmiki and all that questioning does, and he goes to his family and then they answer. But then, as per the Manu Samsmriti, definitely when Valmiki, when ex-Valmiki ji is doing, Ratnakar Thakur is earning all this by sinful means, and he is giving it to his family, then definitely by Manu Samsmriti law, definitely they are sharing some proportion of the sin involved in it. Is it correct?
But he has got a fortune to meet Guru, na?
Okay. Narad Muni.
And he adopted also. Narad Muni told, okay, because he bound Narad Muni. He was to kill Narad Muni.
Yeah, right.
That is how the story goes.
But then why she should go and ask his family members? Because
Narada told, na? Narada told, for whom are you doing all these sinful activities? Okay, he said, I am doing it for my family members.
Okay, okay, Maharaj. This is a Leela. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Okay.